Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of Ash and Me Sports Talk. And in this episode, we are going to talk about India's exit from the World Cup, T20 World Cup in Australia. So, Ash, how do you feel?
I feel really disappointed, and it's been like I think 9 years since India lifted ICC trophy, the 2013 ICC Champions Trophy, which they last lifted with MSD,
Yeah.
but now they have not lifted anything recently.
Yeah, every time I think they get knocked out in the semi-finals, it's kind of disappointing, right?
The trophy cabinet is getting dried up.
Right, correct. And you know that, right? We had our predictions before the World Cup, and we did not have India as one of the favorites, right? We had England, Australia, and Pakistan as our top three teams, and as rightly said, it has been England versus Pakistan in the finals. So high five to us for predicting that correctly, right? And we had various reasons why we considered India as not as favorites, right? And those reasons have come true, right? And let us now analyze why India have been knocked out in the semi-finals, right? And so most of the factors are some glaring facts, which most of the fans, as cricket crazy fans of India, and also the critics have analyzed, right? And we also analyzed, and we wanted to share few points on that, right?
Yes.
So let us go to the first point. First point is the lack of power in the power play, right? So India were woefully short in the batting power play, right? So just have a look at the stats at throughout the tournament, right? And if you see throughout the group stage and the semi-finals, India's average power play score at the end of the 6 overs was somewhere around the mid-30s with a loss of 1 or 2 wickets, which is nowhere good enough for a T20 match, right?
Yes.
So nowadays in a T20 match, people go hammer and tongs from the ball one, and they reach a score of at least between 50 to 60 in the power play. Right?
Like England in the semi-final just
Yes.
now.
So England did it in the semi-finals, right? So
And the openers stayed till the end, till they won.
Yes, till they won. Yeah. So India's batting power play was terrible throughout the tournament, right? And they managed to scrape through the group stage because of the brilliance of Virat and Sky, which is our next point, right?
Over-reliance on Virat Kohli and Surya Kumar Yadav. If you can see in all the matches, it has either been Virat Kohli or Surya Kumar Yadav who has been doing the heavy lifting. Meanwhile, the other squad have faltered. And if Virat Kohli didn't come to form, imagine that, it could have been even worse for us.
Yes. Yeah, and if you see the stats speak for themselves, right? So Virat Kohli and Surya Kumar Yadav have scored bulk of the scoring for the Indian runs. So it's almost accounting to almost 60% of the total runs that India has scored.
Look at Kohli's average; it's close to 100.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, look at Surya Kumar Yadav's strike rate, which is close to 190.
190, right? So these two were brilliant, but the people above them and the people below them did not give the sufficient support, right? For India to be able to reach a very good score, right? And also finish all the matches properly. So this is one of the major reasons, right? And because of Virat, they won the game against Pakistan, and we won the game against Bangladesh because of the rain gods helped us, right? And in the other matches, we had both Virat and Sky doing an exceptional job, right? So we just scraped through the group stage. So even in the group stage, we were not like totally dominating.
We were not imperious.
We were not imperious, right? So although we topped the group, but it's kind of luck factor and the individual brilliance that played their part, yes. Right? And that cannot be sustained throughout the tournament.
Especially against very big teams and even the knockout stages.
Yes. So coming to the next point. So the next point is the rigidity of the team selection, right? So especially the playing 11. So I'm not sure why it is, but both Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma may have thought that the team needed stability. The same players needed to play throughout the tournament. They did not want to make too many changes, but
it cannot be almost the same team. No, not the same team all the matches.
It's almost in especially only the punt came in for DK. That too because DK was injured in the previous match, and maybe one odd match for Deepak Hooda again. I think it was against Netherlands or something, right? So if you're not going to play the other players, I think there's no point in taking them also, right? So once you have the you see that some players are failing. Like we had KL Rahul not in good form at all, and we also saw Akshar Patel badly. Like he was not at all in form.
In the semi-final, the England batsman released.
Yeah. So Akshar Patel was being taken apart by like each and every team.
And even in the Zimbabwe match, I thought instead of Patel, they could have played Chahal,
Yeah.
a wrist spinner.
So obviously, in the semi-finals, at least everybody's opinion was India should have played a wrist spinner, especially Yuzvendra Chahal. He has always been a good performer for India over the years, and his records are far better than Akshar Patel, especially being he's a wicket taker. Right, wrist spinners are always wicket takers. So we needed to take that risk in the semi-finals, right? Because if you are keeping Akshar Patel for his batting, if the argument was Akshar Patel was there in the team for his batting also, right? But he has not proved that.
Yes.
He has been a failure in the batting also in the series, right?
Yes.
And coming down at 7 and 8, 9, I don't know what contribution that he can make with the bat. And if you see the semi-finals, it was the wrist spinners, right? Adil Rashid and even the part-time spinner Liam Livingston who contained India and took the wickets, right? So India needed that wicket-taking ability, but that was not to be. I kind of found it very surprising that they continue to stick on to Akshar Patel throughout. So this rigidity of the selection of the playing 11 also played a part, right?
Yes.
Right.
And on to our next point, which is the lack of firepower in bowling and Bumrah's injury. Bumrah injury was a major drawback for us because he can bowl really fast, and everybody knows he's one of the best bowlers in the world. And that was also one of our major flaws. There was no one like who was a really fast bowler. Look at Pakistan's two fast bowlers, Shaheen Shah Afridi and Harris Rose. They are proper fast bowlers who can bowl above 140, 150. But India, even though Asdeep Singh did bowl really well, he was more like a length bowler, and he can put the ball correctly at the length.
Yes.
And
those
types of bowlers
right.
Can be hit by England.
Yes, you are right. Especially, see, we can say that India's bowling was slightly one dimension, right?
Yes.
And they needed the good bowling conditions to assist them, right? So Arshdeep was really good. Arshdeep's swing was really good. But other bowlers like Bumrah and Shami, they needed something in the pitch to, sorry, not Bumrah, Bhuvi and Shami needed something on the pitch to assist them, right? And once we got a flat pitch in Adelaide, I think they were like lambs left to slaughter for England, right?
And they could have roped in Umran Malik as well.
Yes, India needed, like, once we knew that Bumrah was not going to play, we needed some X factor, right? Some X factor in the bowling lineup also. So we talked about the firepower in the batting, right, for the power play. They needed that firepower in the bowling also. So India's bowling was slightly one dimension, and they were all bowling like, as you said, line and length, containing the ball, containing the runs, but we needed that wicket-taking bowler who could go there and smash people's...
especially England players who have adopted the baseball method. They can easily hit, even if the length is perfect.
Right. So this is one of the major drawbacks, right? And moving on to the next point. So if you notice, like, we lost the semi-finals in the last year's World Cup, which happened in the UAE, right? We lost to Pakistan in the semi-finals. And that was the last World Cup. Last World Cup as a skipper for Virat Kohli,
yes.
Right? And then the reins were handed over to Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid, right? So from that time onwards till the last 1 year, I kind of felt that there was an inconsistency or in the team selection also, right? There are a number of players tried, right? Like Ishan Kishan, especially if you see in the opening slot, right? We had sometimes Ishan Kishan opening. We even saw Rishabh Pant opening in a few matches. We also saw Surya Kumar Yadav himself opening in a few matches, right? And also there are other players tried, like Ravi Bishnoi, and you said Umran Malik. They also tried Umran Malik, right? But they were not given a lengthy run, right? So if you're going to try these players, you need to give them a lengthy run and see how they perform. So after trying all these players for the last 1 year, we again went back to the same combination of Rahul and Rohit.
Who have faltered for a long time.
Right? And even in the IPL, I don't think Rohit was in a good form. And Rahul's strike, Rahul also.
Was one of the top scorers, but his strike rate was
even though he scored heavily in the IPL, but his strike rate was always a question mark, right?
And which also proved to be a disadvantage for Lucknow.
Right? Yeah. So this inconsistency in the team selection and not playing, not knowing the combination well, right? So this has affected India's performance sorely, right? So if you're going to play those players, in the World Cup, then you needed to give them a longer run, right? Right. So I think these are the factors that combine for India's exit, right? So India, I don't think is a very good T20 side now. So I think, what do you think going forward? What do you think should be the strategy?
India has been underperforming for several years till now, and going forward, I think they really have to look at other teams. And for example, the fast bowling of Pakistan and the hit from the ball one strategy of England, and they need to adopt it.
Right, you're right. And also, Ash, I think they needed to take a leaf out of the 2007 T20 World Cup,
Yes.
right? So just before the 2007 World Cup,
Sachin,
we had stalwarts for Indian team like
Sachin
Sachin Tendulkar
Tendulkar,
and our current coach Rahul Dravid and Saurav Ganguly. They all vacated their places. They all left the space for the younger generation to take over the T20 format,
yes,
right?
for the welfare of the team.
For the welfare of the team, and they understood that they were not made for this, and T20 is really a young man's game, right? And their game was not suited for this format, right? And that proved to be beneficial. So India won the World
They
Cup.
won the World Cup.
Right? Under
MSC.
right? So I think India needs to have a reset button and take a leaf out of the 2007 World Cup, and again start planning for the next few years, right?
Does Rohit have to step down now?
I think so. For me, if you ask me,
Hardik Pandya.
Rohit should step down. I
Hardik
think he
Pandya
needs to
should be
retire
there.
from the T20 format at least.
Yes.
And Hardik needs to take over, right? I feel like Hardik is a good captain. We saw that in the IPL.
Especially after his comeback, I think his attitude has changed a lot.
Yes, and he needs to be given space to form a team of his own, right? So T20 needs bright, young, and fit and hungry, passionate players like who can like strike the ball from day one, ball one, and in the bowling department also you need the variety and the firepower, right?
Yes.
So that is sorely missed in this World Cup, and let's see. Hope the Indian selectors think about it and come up with a new strategy for the T20 team at least. I think Test team and maybe even the ODI, it's also India are a good team. I think that is not a matter of concern, but especially in the T20 format, India needs to have horses first courses policy, right? You cannot have the same players playing in all the formats. As you rightly said, they need to take a leaf out of England's playbook, right? So England, I think they are pioneering the white ball strategy now. They go from ball one, and I think India also needs to look at that strategy, right?
Yes.
Right. So that's it from us for this episode, and we'll come back again with the preview of the final between England and Pakistan.
Yes.
Right. Cheers and have a good day.
Peace.